I never lose, either I win or I learn. Those are my only options, to whomever it may concern. About to be a hot topic, play with fire, you get burned. Ain't nobody give me nothing, whatever I got, better I earn. I never lose, but I learn. I either win or I
Thank you for
learn.
listening to the
Those are my
Strong
only
AF
options.
podcast.
This episode is brought to you by our Weight Loss Transformation Masterclass. After spending over 30 years of my life being obese and dealing with chronic constipation issues, I decided to get my certification in fitness, nutrition, and wellness to empower myself to lose over 70 pounds and keep it off.
Watching my brother and dad have a heart attack within weeks of each other, I knew I had to make a change, but I wasn't sure what to do. After researching and studying to get my certification in fitness, nutrition, and weight loss management, I was able to use this knowledge I gained to lose over 80 pounds and keep it off.
Now we're passionate about helping others to avoid the same mistakes that we made and changing the world through holistic health and wellness. So our approach is focused on mindset because overall health, including our mental health, means everything to us.
Imagine waking up with more energy than you imagined possible, no longer worrying about digestive issues and bloating.
We're here to show you how to ditch the fad diets and make small changes in your lifestyle, which will make a massive impact on your quality of life.
These are changes that you will be able to pass on for generations to come. Go to veganstrongandfit.com/masterclass today to sign up for your free masterclass and get started on a happier, healthier journey.
Hey, all of you strong and fit vegans. We are so excited to be back with you guys.
Yes, we're back.
It feels like forever. And if you're watching on YouTube, as you can see, we no longer have the crazy green screen behind us. We actually have a space to record, and it's so nice.
The sound quality is amazing, as you can tell.
So we are so excited to jump into this week's episode. So we can talk about, holidays with toxic family members. Whew, I feel like, man, we're coming back from a break. It was like a nice birthday celebration, new business, and we had our move, and now we're going to jump in on a really hot and heavy topic of toxic family members. So, yeah, we're throwing you all the way in there this week.
Well, it's that time of year. You had November, December, you have these holidays, so spend time with family. There may be some relatives that y'all have a touchy background and some history, may have some emotional trauma, things that just don't fit well, where you know what's coming up this time of year and you have to see that person. Your skin may crawl, your blood pressure may go up, depressed, anxiety, all those things. So we're going to cover that today.
Yeah, definitely. And as you guys know, like Yuri and I went to therapy for a while for couples counseling. And within that, what we really focused on was ourselves, because until you can learn what triggers you and, kind of what makes you tick, you can't have a healthy relationship. So that was our biggest focus during that, because we both had a really tough past. And I understand that a lot of people have it a lot worse than we did. But I also believe that everyone's trauma is valid, and, we can't try to judge or compete or say whose is worse, because really, anything that is messing with you emotionally, physically, whatever, that takes away that safe space that you should feel at home. That's trauma.
Yeah, because like she said, you can't compare and say, look at somebody and say, That wasn't that bad. I've been through that. That didn't hurt me. That didn't give me any kind of feelings or emotional feelings towards it, where you can't put yourself in their shoes and say, "Oh, I would have acted differently." You have to accept that we process things differently, and what may be traumatic for me may be a walk in the park for you.
Mhm.
But all trauma is valid.
Exactly. And so, one of the biggest things that we learned is our trigger points. Excuse me, guys. I'm getting over some lovely cold that my children have passed over. But so, one of the biggest things that we had to learn, like what I was mentioning, is our trigger points. And for me, I had a lot of traumatic things happen around the holidays. I had, as a child, my grandma would assert gifts and monetary value and all of these physical items as love. And if I didn't accept those physical items, or if I did not return that favor and provide what she deemed as valuable or worthy to her in some type of monetary or gift form, then that meant that that love was not there. And also, those types of items and gifts would be held over my head as, well, I did this, this, and this, and I bought you these gifts. So therefore, you have to do X, Y, Z. And that was always set in that tone for me. And so as I've gotten older, I love getting my family things. If I find something that I think they'll like, I get that for them, but I try not to make it a
Big deal.
yeah, a big deal. Or like, we don't do Christmas gifts, we instead do experiences, because to me, if it's something my kids need and generally want, then that comes throughout the year. But as far as, you know, showing affection and showing love, I feel that's best done where we're actually spending time together and doing things that build memories and make them feel safe and wanted and loved, and not just throwing gifts and money at them.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Now that you mentioned that, if you want to go back, 3-4 years ago, what we did for Christmas, we took our oldest. Was it just him? Yeah, we took our oldest to Disney World for
I think
Christmas.
Cam was like 6 months,
Mhm.
so he was really young.
Yeah, we went to Disney World for Christmas, and if anything, they probably remember. Well, our oldest, YJ, he probably remembers the time we had and things like that, but he doesn't remember like the roller coasters and this and that, what food we ate, what this and that. But it was just the time that we spent and everything, all the backstage events and after hours and stuff like that. You can't get that time back. You can spend all this money on gifts and toys and electronics, but they usually play with them to like maybe 2 months and then they're done with it. They could care less. They're kids, they're on to the next thing. But if you do these events and stuff like that, spend time with them and do special things like that, they're going to remember that forever, for a lifetime.
As you guys know, we love our sea moss, and we take this supplement every day because it contains 92 of the 100 essential vitamins and minerals that the body needs. And especially as a vegan who, we hear all the time, you're not getting what you need.
Protein.
Guess what? This has the iron, this has your vitamins and your minerals, everything that your body is craving and asking you for is in this. Okay, so here is just a couple of the products. If you can see, if you're listening to the podcast, we've got the sea moss advanced superfood and the black seed extract here with us. There's also a sea moss gel that you can get that is wild crafted, and this is from infiniteage.com. from the co-founder John Carlisle, which we decided to pair
Team
up.
up with.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we love everything they envision. It's Black owned. They have goals of helping to educate the Black community to healthier options, and that really resonates with both of us, and we believe in them, and we want to bring something to our listeners and followers that we believe in and that we use ourselves. So
Exactly. And as you know, our stories, like we have both had issues with pain, inflammation, and this has been a miracle worker for us. And we just want to be able to provide our listeners with the same thing that we're getting. And that's why we're excited to be able to offer you a 10% discount on your order when you use code STRONGAF10 at checkout. That's STRONG AF10.
the number 2,
exactly.
10.
STRONGAF10.
10.
So be sure to go on to infiniteage.com and get that.
InfiniteAge.com.
Yeah, exactly. Like we've gone to, since we started doing this, we've done Disney, we did the Blue Ridge Mountains, we went to New Orleans, and this year we're going to the beach. Yes, it's going to be cold. No, we're not going in the water. But so just trying different experiences. And the kids have remembered all of these, maybe not every detail of all of these, but they remembered different things about these, and they bring them up frequently, and they are very excited about going.
It's the things that you don't even imagine or think that they're going to pick up on. Like, was it last year? Last year in New Orleans, we spent a lot of the time when we were traveling back and forth, just giving food and water to the homeless we would see out on the street.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what our oldest, he really enjoyed that. That was probably his favorite thing to do, was helping others. That way, when we're back in our city and stuff, we see him, he was like, ooh, dad, help them.
Yeah.
Ooh, mom, do we have anything in the car that we can give them? Just these moments like this, these precious times, you could enjoy these with your family, and they're watching and learning. Just pass this information on.
Exactly. It's a really good time to instill values and just be there and support. We do homeschool, so we are with our kids almost 24/7. But even with that said, we both still work full time. So, we're not spending 24/7 of invested time with our kids. And so this break away for a week or so, or even a few days, just helps us to like kind of unwind and not focus so much on work and business and life and everything else that's going on around us, and just focus our energy on the kids.
Yeah, because with the holidays coming
and each
up,
other. Sorry.
Yeah, because with the holidays coming up, it can be stressful. I know you may not even be aware of this time of year, what that does to you. You may experience patterns if you're thinking right now, like, oh yeah, you're right. Last year around this time, I started having a lot of depression, anxiety, and stuff like that, especially with COVID and everything, where it was hard, where you may have not have been able to see your entire family. You may have not got to see your grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, and stuff like that. Where this year you may be able to and experience that time together and stuff like that, but you may have not even noticed the anxiety and depression you experience yearly and stuff like that, with that trauma that may have happened with your mom, dad, aunts, uncles, or something like that.
Or it's there, you're depressed, you feel down, it's not normal for you, but you don't understand why. So like really taking the time to, when you feel that way, think about, okay, what are the events that just happened? What is it that has triggered in me to feel this way? Now that I know that I'm depressed after I was told I have to go meet my family, why would that make me depressed? Okay, I'm depressed because that means I have to get all these gifts that I know I don't care about, and I have to go pick something out and spend all this money that they're not even going to care about the gift, when I could just do something for them that they would actually enjoy, but that's going to cause drama. So that was the kind of thought process that I had to unravel through my trigger points to figure out why I was getting such anxiety.
Because it's a lot of stuff going in behind that. Because what would we do? We would have Christmas morning at your mom's house.
Oh, we did Christmas at our house first, and then Christmas at Mom's house.
And then Christmas with my family. And then
Oh, we did Christmas with my dad the night before. So it was just like constant everywhere. And imagine that with 3 kids, which we had 2 at the time.
mhm.
And they're wanting us to drive everywhere. And when we finally broke down and said, we're not doing it anymore, we're going to go spend time just as our family and enjoy Christmas and kind of relax and catch our breath. Everyone got angry and they were like, oh, but you're supposed to come see us. Like, we haven't seen you in a year, and this is the only time of the year that we see you, and now we're not going to see you. And I'm like, but we live an hour and a half away from you, which means you live an hour and a half away from us. And if us not coming there means that we're not going to see you, then that means that you're also not coming to visit us. So remember, when you're in these types of situations, the roles really do go both ways. Okay. And you should never feel obligated to put yourself into a situation that causes you stress, anxiety, to feel overwhelmed, when it's not necessary. You know, I understand family is very important, but you also have to understand that your health and yourself is very important, because if you don't take care of yourself, you can't be there for your spouse, you can't be there for your children, you can't be there for your other family. So you have to take care of yourself.
Yeah, because when you look out for yourself and you know what hurts you and triggers you and stuff like that, when you start to take back that power, like for us, where we stop moving around visiting this one, this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, when we just focused on doing something with our immediate family, just going somewhere, we enjoyed that so much more.
Mhm.
You didn't have to worry about, am I gonna have enough time with this one? What if I only spend 30 minutes with this one and stuff like that? And then maybe seeing that aunt or uncle who you don't get along with and stuff like that. So we took everything into our own hands and our own control and just said, you know what? We're gonna do what makes us happy and look out for us and our boys and nip everything in the butt.
Exactly. And as far as spending time with family, that hasn't gone neglected either. It just means that it doesn't have to be at that moment, you know? So you don't have to focus around their timeline all the time. And there are some people, like my grandma, who no matter what you do, you're not going to make that person happy.
Yeah, you can't please everyone. You shouldn't try to. You shouldn't be jumping through hoops
Yeah.
in hopes of making somebody who probably not going to be happy anyway, no matter what you're doing. Just trying to please them constantly
Mhm.
over and over. They just keep dangling this carrot in front of your face, like, here you go, here you go, here you go. But you always seem to miss the point.
Yeah, exactly. So in those types of situations, if you know you're not going to be able to make them happy, regardless of what effort and what you do, then guys, just step back and make yourself happy. Because whether you're trying to please them or you're just trying to take care of yourself, either way, they're not going to be happy. And it's not because of you. They're not happy with themselves. There is something within them that they are struggling with. And you doing everything for them and being a constant giver is not going to change that.
It's actually enabling them.
Mhm.
They're just projecting all of their shit onto you, and then you're getting them off the hook by just letting it happen continuously. You're okay. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's on me. I'm the bad person. I'm the reason. When in
Right.
all actuality, you're not. You're just there, enabling them, letting them get away with it.
And there are many types of toxic friends, family members that we all associate with. I think one of the biggest things in my life has been narcissist. It's not diagnosed for my grandmother, but all the traits appear to be there. I'm not a psychologist. Please don't hold me to this. However, I think what we tend to think is we hear all the time about narcissistic spouses, more towards the husband too being the narcissist, and that's not always the case. It doesn't. I think we view it so much as being a spousal or partnership relationship that we don't think about other people in our family who are this way. And for mine, like, it was always kind of dismissed when my grandmother would act certain ways and tell my sister that she didn't love her, saying hurtful things to me, my children, my husband, her husband, my mom. And so it just went dismissed and was written off as, oh, well, grandma's crazy.
But that's the thing that we need to realize. The saying, hurt people hurt people. When in all actuality, we should be doing our best, putting in the work, whether it's counseling, therapy, or something, with some sort of professional. That way we can change that into healed people heal people, or healed people help people heal. Let's share that. Let's share healing and putting in the effort and work and making yourself better. That way you're breaking these generational curses.
Mhm.
You're not passing all this crap down to your kids because you're treating them the way your parent or your aunt and uncle treated you, where you're cutting all ties to that and you're doing the therapy, you're putting in the work to where you're healing all this and just practicing love.
Until recently, I had only tried things from like Whole Foods with the organic alfalfa sprouts and things like that. I had never grown my own.
Never even thought about it.
It seems so intimidating when you look at it out there, but thankfully, Ramonas.com, that's RIMONAS.com, has a fabulous solution for this. And we are so excited to be a part of this because it is amazing. It's a jar and they send you the sprouting seeds and it has directions for everything of what you need to do. It's super simple.
5 days.
Yes. You water the seeds and you drain them twice a day, and that's it for 5 days. And then you're ready to eat. And it has multiple different sprouts within the package. So you get a nice variety. Everything's organic, which is what we love. And guess what, guys? We are so excited to be able to bring you this for 30% off.
30% off. Big savings.
We're so grateful to be teaming up with Ramonas to be able to provide you with this offer. So go to Ramonas.com, RIMONAS.com. And when you check out through Amazon, you're going to enter in Strong Fit 30. That's STRONGFIT 30 at checkout for 30% off.
Hurry now.
We hope you guys enjoy it as much as we do. Exactly. And just understand that, like Gary said, heal people, but that doesn't mean that it's your job to heal them. People have to want the help themselves. And the important thing in that message is that you heal yourself so that you can, like he said, break those generational curses. It does not mean heal yourself and then go try to heal them, because then you're not healing yourself. You're putting yourself back into that situation, and that is not good for you. So just make sure that you're doing what's best for you so that you can do better for your family and your children, and continue on a healthier path and a healthier journey.
Yeah, because the journey never ends. Wholeness is the destination, but the journey never ends. It's a ton of work. You may have good days, bad days, but once you learn to sort of control your emotions, and when you start to get depressed, you have these outlets which raise your spirits and stuff like that. That way it's just certain things you say to yourself. Like you could talk yourself into feeling good and stuff like that. You can will yourself to so many things. Just words have power. And if you're just, for myself, I have these affirmations where my affirmations are raw and they're everything that I need that push me. And I may have moments where it's hard for me to get out of bed, but I get out of bed and I look at that in the mirror, and those words right there, like, yeah, it just juices me up where I'm ready to run through a brick wall because I'm so amped and everything like that. It's just watch what you say to yourself, because those words have power. You can start to believe some of that bad shit that you put out there. That's where you have to keep your energy high and your vibrations at a certain frequency. That way everything's good and you're always joyful and happy. That way people come around you, they can just feel that, they feed off of it. With your feelings and your energy is so high that it's contagious and they're in a good mood for all of a sudden.
Yeah, exactly. I love that, because we need something to really get us going, especially when those moods, because like they said, did you wake up on the wrong side of the bed? Maybe you need to go back and wake up again. Like sometimes we just wake up feeling a certain type of way, and we need to be able to snatch ourselves out of that. And everyone kind of handles that differently. So Yuri does the affirmations. For me, I like to kind of sit in a quiet area and kind of meditate and think on things. I tend to be very rash person. I can't talk person. And so I kind of jump to things. And what helps me to focus is when I jump to a conclusion, or when I wake up in one of those moods, is to sit there and think, why do I feel this way? If I can't figure out a reason to feel this way, should I still be feeling this way? Because obviously I can't think of anything that has made me feel this type of way. And then how can I change that? What can I think about? What can I do? What can I focus my attention on to be able to shift my thought process? And so just giving myself about 10 to 15 minutes to sit there and walk myself through this in my mind, just quietly, is what I need to be able to pull myself out.
The more you talk about it, that sounds like meditation. And meditation is comforting, whether you have some kind of app or something where you hear little light music and sounds and nature, you hear birds chirping and everything like that. All that stuff is calming. It just soothes the soul. And if you haven't done any meditation, I strongly suggest it.
Yeah. Speaking of calming, like, we're not sponsored by them, but the Calm app is great for this. It's something that we use, and it's been very helpful.
They owe us for that. Calm. Email us.
So, these are the kinds of things that we want you guys to think about. As I know we've already wrapped up Thanksgiving, and for our Canadian listeners, I know you guys were back in October, but we've got all of the Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. We've got all kinds of family celebrations coming up. We've got New Year's coming up. There's just so many things coming up in the next month, and it can be a joyous time, but it can also be very stressful, overwhelming, full of anxiety, just depending on, what you've gone through, what you've seen, what your experiences around this time of year are. And so we just want everyone to be aware of that too, because as you're going through telling everyone Merry Christmas, and somebody may not say it back. Maybe they have a different holiday that they celebrate. Maybe this is not a Merry Christmas for them. Be kind of cognizant of what's around you and how people are, kind of reading the room, understanding, because I feel like we're so busy, and this is me too. We're so busy in our own mind and our own thoughts. We have everything going on with us that, a lot of times we'll say something or do something, and we're like, well, why did they act that way? They're being awfully snobby, and look how rude they were, and we don't know what's going on with them. So, maybe just come and give everybody a break, because I'm like, this time of year, it's been rough, and everybody's feeling some type of pressure. So just being aware of that.
Like you said, just read the room and feel the energy, and everything after that just fall into place. You know what you're doing, and stay positive.
Exactly. And most importantly, no matter what you celebrate, guys, have a happy holidays. And again, we're so glad to be back with you guys, and we can't wait to talk to you again next week.
And just remember, small changes, massive impact.